When I was interested in getting involved in computing, I reached out to a family friend of mine to ask if he had any tips or advice to getting involved in the field. At the time, he told me to just make stuff. As you probably can tell, that wasn't very helpful. However, after being a student at DTSU for 3 years in the computing program, as well as working an internship for about the same time, I've come to realize a few things. I've come to realize that good programmers instill in themselves good habits and good practices that not only make them better at what they do, but also help them learn more and learn better as they continue in their education. So even if you aren't interested in getting involved in computing or in the computer science field, hopefully you can take these tips with you in whatever field you hope to pursue. Now, I'm going to give you the first tip that I would have liked to receive when getting into this field rather than just make stuff. Start with something easy to understand and approachable. This field is quite large and has hundreds of languages that you can start with, and sometimes that can be a very daunting task. Patil et al. State in their 2025 paper, Choosing the Right Programming Language for Beginners, that the choice of language can either simplify the application period for newcomers or create challenges that make it hard for learners to continue. If you narrow down on what kind of programming language you want to start with to something that is easy and digestible, you can understand if this program, if this field is really for you. This can apply to different fields, starting in smaller art projects before committing to art school, or helping with renovations before committing into construction, and buying simple robotics kits before committing yourself to engineering, all can be good ways for you to be able to understand if those are the fields you want to pursue, instead of just jumping in the deep end of the pool. And choosing a good starting language to work with can provide you opportunities for greater learning. Simple languages like C# are great places to learn, because if you start learning with C#, since it's derived from other languages like C and C++, you can understand how to get involved in those more advanced languages while still learning good principles with those simpler languages. And through C# and other programming languages like Python, you can learn a lot of fun stuff, making games or calculators, or other simple applications that can help you in your day-to-day if you truly don't want to pursue this career. All these can be great learning experiences and help you learn more in this field in a more approachable way. Secondly, documenting your code can be an insanely helpful tool, no matter what you're doing. Sometimes you can review some old projects that you haven't worked on a bit and be entirely confused on what you were last working on. Sometimes you're in the flow of things and returning to it a few months or even a couple years later, you have no idea what you were working on. Leaving your future self comments to look back on can help refresh your memory and allow you to understand what you were working on instead of having to learn it all from the ground up, especially with more niche tools and more specialized coding principles. Secondly, commenting your code can help other people understand it just as much as it can help you understand it. Steidl et al. In their 2013 paper, Quality Analysis of Source Code Comments, state that developers widely agree that poor documentation leads to misunderstandings, and that poor documentation significantly lowers the maintainability of software. Letting other people know what you were intending when you wrote your code can help them work off of it and work with it. Communication is key, especially in computer science, and good documentation can help mitigate problems. Good documentation also can prove to other people, including supervisors or potential hiring people, that you understand what you're talking about, that you know what you're doing in your field just as much as you know how to apply it. And I would encourage this for even people who aren't interested in getting into computing to write down what they know. Take good notes, write good essays, to show to employers exactly what you know and demonstrate your capability with it. Now, even if you don't take any of these other tips with you into any of these fields, I want you to take one tip from me. Explore new and exciting challenges wherever you go. Trying new things can offer challenges, but when you overcome them, you might learn things that you might never have learned if you had just stuck to what you were comfortable with. If you push yourself to try new things, you might find that there are more effective ways of doing things, even if they're not quite as easy to understand. Trying new things can also help you understand that some of them might not be as complicated as you might think, or might even be fun. Amalink et al. Did a study in their 2019 paper exploring factors influencing the continued interest in a computer science major, and they determined that many students find self-motivation and passion necessary to make their way through their education. So I would encourage you to push yourself hard, learn more, and step outside of where you might be comfortable to see if you can really push yourself into something greater. Trying new things in your field can help you enjoy the field just as much as it can help you learn. Having fun with your field can further your enjoyment and allow you to be able to enjoy the profession you find yourself in rather than loathing it. Make video games. Provide jokes in your code. Make Easter eggs. Share it with your friends. Whatever you can do to help further engage yourself in a positive way can help you further enjoy your profession than you might otherwise. It can make learning a lot more easier, for sure. So in conclusion, good programmers can cultivate many good habits, such as documenting your code, starting out easy, and trying new things that might be challenging, but possibly fun. And you can cultivate these good habits. So I would encourage you to venture out into the field of computing or whatever field you're pursuing, and take these with you to help yourself be better at learning and also do better in your field. Because cultivating good habits for a successful career can be a lot easier than you might otherwise expect. Thank you.